So, time to visit the Ascalon Club.
Na, und damit ein herzliches Willkommen, meine geflügelten Freunde. Wir spielen weiter Vampyr und sind heute auf dem Weg zum Ascalon Club. Ja. Wir haben ja in der letzten Folge so ein bisschen angedeutet erfahren, dass die Lady Ashbury, also Elizabeth, voll auf uns steht. Und wir müssen natürlich zu ihr zurückkommen, damit wir eine wunderbare Love Story haben am Ende. Das wäre doch das beste Finale überhaupt. Weil unsere Schwester ist ja eh schon tot. Die können wir ja nicht mehr zurückkriegen. Also ist das Finale schon mal weg. Husten Sie nicht in der Öffentlichkeit. Und wenn dann nur in den Ärmel rein.
It's locked, all right.
Aha, neuer Unterschlupf. Lass mich rein. Wo ist der Unterschlupf? Komme ich da hoch? Ich möchte dahinter. Finsbury Gate. Komme ich da? Ja. Oh. Haben wir hier? Hier kennen wir halt noch niemanden. Ja, okay. Wo geht's denn jetzt hier weiter? Das muss doch irgendwo... Soll ich einfach nur runter? Gut, dann gehen wir einfach runter.
You Londoners are no match for me.
Ja, gib mir dein Blut. Njam, njam. Dankeschön. Over there. Hier lang? Maybe? Ich weiß es nicht. Hier ist Blut. Was ist... Ach, da hinten ist schon wieder so eine Chimera. Ja, okay. Könnten wir das mal bitte aufkriegen?
That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners.
Mhm. Okay, oh, ich gehe schon mal viel zu weit weg davon ab hier. Ach, hier unten seid ihr. Einmal Ausdauer. Ein bisschen Ausdauer währenddessen wiederholen. Na komm schon. So, und du. Und Blut. Haben wir noch ein bisschen Gemüse danach? Oh, was war das? Einfach weg. Hast du nichts? Ach, kommt schon. Genau. Oh, hier ist offen. Ja, perfekt. Oder auch nicht perfekt. Oh, das ist nur die Seite.
I cannot enter.
Ja, schön. Wie soll ich da hinkommen? Von dort. Aber da kam ich da auch nicht. Ah, wir probieren es einfach. Wir probieren es nochmal. Ich war der Meinung, dass ich da nicht lang kam, aber gut. Die sagen, das soll gehen. Hier. Nee. Hä? Ich bin gerade... Ich war doch dort. Ja. Dann gehen wir halt außen rum. Da? Nee, ich wollte hier lang. Dann müssen wir da hoch. Ja. Hier ist nichts mehr. Hier ist nichts mehr. Okay. Hier lang weiter? Ja. Hier weiter lang. Aber hier kommen wir auch nicht weiter, weil da die Tür zugesperrt ist. Also doch komplett außen. Wirklich. Wir müssen einmal... Nee, geht ja auch nicht. Wir müssen irgendwie von dort... Ups, jetzt habe ich da einfach 2 Markierungen hingesetzt. Wie komme ich dorthin? Vielleicht von hier? Nee. Es muss ja irgendwas hier sein. Da komme ich auch. Hier vielleicht? Nee, hier waren wir auch schon. Oder? Waren wir hier? Und da weiter.
The West End. Never have I felt
Okay.
so sad to be back home.
Und dann... Nee, hier ist eine Sackgasse. Oh, aber hier ist
You
irgendwo jemand.
London vampires are so weak.
Oh. Verdammt. Autsch. Ach komm schon. Okay. Keine Ahnung, was der von mir will. Ja, wir sind hier wieder. Da hinten ging es dann. Da? Okay, das ist aber die falsche Richtung. Dann gehen wir einfach mal hier lang diesmal. Überraschen wir mal. Und da kommt noch so ein großer. Komm schon. Komm schon, weg mit dir. Danke.
The Ascalon Club. The heart of British vampire society.
All countries
Not
unite.
quite as subtle as I expect. Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait,
sie nicht
no.
töten.
Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Econs. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte.
Mhm, die hat eine Tochter.
What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time, even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Econ, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see, and one day I'll have my death to face.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night since I am a woman?
Actually, yes.
Well, if you...
How are the local...
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to ice...
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got...
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Wäre nicht schlecht.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously, and the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir.
Does it not scare you to know what...
Why should it? My mother is the most...
Yes, you should. I killed my own sister because of the hunger. There comes a time when a mortal is only seen as blood by a vampire, whatever the bonds between them.
You can't be Wait. Good one, Dr. Reed. You almost got me.
Glad you found it amusing. But do keep my warning in mind.
I will, Dr. Reed. Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate it.
Gut. Oh Gott, wir haben noch so
Do you
viel.
know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How is it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Goodbye, Charlotte.
Achso, wir könnten ja mal gucken. So, jetzt kennen wir endlich mal jemanden. Ist sie krank? Nö, noch nicht. Aber wenn ich sie aussauge, ne, dann gibt es aber richtig Ärger mit der Mutter. Weil sie darf ich nicht anrühren.
Please, sir. Whether you need to buy something.
Good
Sie
evening.
sehen, wie man aus, den ich anrühren
Please
darf.
forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
Ist Ihnen gut? Ja, noch sind sie gesund.
How is the situation in the...
Life is good and peaceful.
Are you not concerned?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
Wenn die mal ein bisschen schneller reden würden.
You cannot expect the newspapers to expose the truth while the war is still raging. I can assure you that the situation here is desperate.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
London's Lone Gourmet. What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
Really?
Ich mag ihn
But you
doch
seem to be
irgendwie.
such a pleasant and
Der darf
sociable
nicht
fellow.
sterben.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
Gut. Was
I
hat
may
er denn?
have a look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
Wir verkaufen die mal. Verkaufen wir auch mal. Brauchen wir nicht. Brauchen wir die noch? Okay, wir lassen den Rest mal. So, wer sind Sie?
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
What is this new...
I saw terrible things.
I know what you mean.
Of course.
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other. And so many things have happened.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Aber wieso?
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try...
Ach so, geht's dir nicht gut? Moment. Ja, Migräne. Oh, ich habe nichts gegen Migräne, glaube ich. Warten Sie mal. Warte mal.
Good evening, old chap.
I won't...
Nee, ich habe nichts gegen
You need
Migräne.
some rest.
Ach man, ich brauche neue Medikamente, neue Rezepte. Möchten wir mehr wissen? So, du bist... Rauchen tust du, junge Dame, ja? Du bist eine Schande. Rauchen ist nicht gesund und auch nicht cool. Genauso wenig wie Alkohol trinken und andere Drogen nehmen. Gehen Sie weg. Gehen Sie sich schämen. Gehen Sie sich schämen. Nee, geh in die Ecke. Okay, dann geh in die andere Ecke. Und gib mir die Zigarette. Hat sie die noch in der Hand? Also wirklich. Ich wohne ja auch auf so einem Anwesen. Boah. Vampir möchte man sein. Da hat man viel Zeit, viel Geld zu verdienen.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
There has been quite a battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Good evening. We repel the intruders for
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him. Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
She has proved to be helpful on many occasions.
Ich habe Angst, wenn ich
The
sage, sie ist eine
centuries have taught me
Freundin,
never to trust a
dass sie sie
woman
dann auf dem
completely,
Kieker haben.
especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why are you suddenly so friendly? The last time I met one of yours, he tried to kill me.
Are you referring to Fergal? He was the most useful of servants, but he was just a servant. You, on the other hand, Doctor, proved yourself much more worthy.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End? Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon, whom made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
It's of no concern of yours.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Niemals. Oh Mann, ich muss den beitreten.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
I killed Fergal,
Ich will den nicht
who claimed to be one of
beitreten.
yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all Skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
Na gut,
I
wir
agree
müssen.
to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Muss ich ja.
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation.
Na los, jetzt mach's nicht so spannend und unterzeichne.
Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Schön. Jetzt sind wir dem Club beigetreten. Ah, okay.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Do you know Edgar Swan?
Not personally, but I
Wir
doesn't bother. As
überspringen
long
das mal. Wir müssen ja eh
You
nur auf das
not
Gelbe gleich.
personally.
Who?
Ferg?
No, I.
No.
You do know.
Yes.
With-
Of course not.
Yes. So, hier.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Scals in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Scals.
Scals are hostile vectors of
I agree, Dr. Reed.
So,
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
and how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon.
I will put a foot outside until the Prewen end their hunt.
Es können neue Bürger getötet werden. Okay. Ich möchte euch aber nicht töten. Hm. Ach so, sie wird... Ah, Moment. Wird er vielleicht vermisst? Nee. Okay. Keine Ahnung. Hier müssen wir mal hin. Obwohl, erstmal müssen wir hier hin. Nach Whitechapel. Okay. Frage Anwohner nach möglichen Infektions...
Good
Yeah.
evening, Dr. Reed.
Das ist ungewohnt.
It's quite.
Do not be alarmed.
May I,
Why,
Ja, ich will einfach nur ein paar Hinweise.
Mr. Dorr?
A wit.
Are you?
My
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
absolute. Your
What?
quarrel.
But that.
Our own.
Are you?
Why do you?
What do you mean? Okay, dann gehen wir jetzt mal raus. Ich möchte einmal noch nach Whitechapel. Guter Deutsch. Neue Waffe. Moment. Guter Deutsch. Oh, okay. Ja. Nee. Tschüssi. Ich gehe mal wieder. War nett bei euch, aber ich komme erstmal so schnell nicht wieder. Hoffentlich.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Oh, ich will nach Whitechapel. Untersuche den Bürger auf die Infektion. Welchen Bürger? Okay. Hey, du. Muss dich was
evening.
fragen.
I'm
A
investigating.
few days ago,
Where is?
it's...
Haben wir hier noch was? Nö. Gut.
Goodbye.
She's been
Tschüssi. Haben wir hier... Da hinten. Was hast du denn jetzt? Warum läufst du jetzt so komisch? Hä? Was hat der jetzt für ein Problem? Oh no, meine Tastatur. Hä? Was hat jetzt... Jetzt geht's wieder. Was war das denn? Der hat sich gerade mal in die falsche Richtung bewegt. Egal. Jetzt geht's wieder. Guten Tag.
Good evening, miss.
I am...
Miss, you don't seem...
No. It's me who bites them.
Ugh.
What happened to you?
The rats. The answer hides in their little crunchy bones. Their juicy, tiny brains.
Miss Billow, please, try to concentrate. Why do you worry about rats so much?
The voice in my head. He forces me to do so. Drink their blood, he said. Eat their flesh.
Tell me about the voice in your head. Who is it? Can you describe it? Is it someone you know? Someone you met?
Keep your mouth shut, he said. Don't ever speak about me or I'll abandon you. Help me, please, Doctor.
Ich versuch's.
Do you feel
Yeah.
Okay, was braucht sie denn? Oh, nichts?
Tell me, don't you...
I...
What is the look?
Shadows.
Okay. Hier haben wir nichts.
I'm investigating...
Infection.
And where is...
West of
Ratten, Ratten, Ratten. Ja, die Ratten sind schuld.
I must go now. Goodbye.
Was sagt ihre Blutqualität? 1200.
I must...
Okay. Was haben wir denn hier? Hier muss ich nicht lang. Na los, raus da.
I'm sure Kaloon Russell has no interest in such a conventional menu. Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
Bam, bam, weg mit dir. Oh mein Gott. Bist du? Nee, du bist noch nicht erledigt. Jetzt bist du erledigt. Dankeschön. Ich bin mir nicht so sicher, ob ich hier richtig bin. Doch, ich glaube schon. Komm schon. Ach, komm schon. Autsch, ich will jetzt nicht hier von so einem normalen Menschen sterben. Oh. Dankeschön. Hier? Au! Lass mich in Ruhe. Wirklich, ich will mich einfach hinterrücks angreifen.
It's locked, all right.
Okay.
I have this thirst for blood. This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage.
Mhm. Gut, dann brauchst du die Sachen ja hier nicht mehr. Ja. So viele Sachen, das ist schön. Ach, das ist ein Hut, der da liegt. Ne, da waren wir schon. Ist hier noch irgendwo was? Na, komm schon. Danke.
He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture.
Lecker. So ein paar Augen und eine Zunge. Da war ein kleines Leckermäulchen am Werk.
This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
Gib mir erstmal die ganzen Sachen. Lebt er noch? Er lebt noch. Oh, ist eine Sie.
You thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You
Oh mein
killed
Gott.
your family.
Eine Verrückte.
They mocked my talent.
Oh nee, ich muss jetzt gegen die kämpfen. Oh, kann die mal aufhören zu kotzen? Das ist ja voll widerlich. Ich kann mich auch nicht irgendwie dagegen wehren. Ah, okay. Gut, ich glaube, da muss ich mich dann doch erstmal wieder aufleveln. Wisst ihr was? Wir kämpfen einfach im nächsten Part gegen die Omi. Das wird, glaube ich, wieder viele, viele Tode auf sich ziehen. Und dann haben wir schon mal einen guten Einstieg fürs nächste Mal. Also, meine Lieben, ich bedanke mich bei euch fürs Zusehen. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Und ihr könnt voller Spannung auf die nächste Folge schon warten. Also, tschüssi, meine Lieben. Mua.